Good day, guys. How are we all doing? I hope you are having a good day. I hope you're also having or had a peaceful week. So today we're just going to have a quick analysis for the weekend's trade. So in the group, I sent a signal just now on C500. We've been bullish for the longest of times, or for the past couple of days, rather. And if you notice the trades we've been taking, the intraday reversals, they haven't been pushing how we wanted them to push. This was the day before yesterday. This was yesterday. They also didn't push down. So today, I'm just looking at this price action on daily. So what I see is we have taken out liquidity on the previous day's high. We came back up, challenged the high. We've got a doji. So what I need now is price to shift the zone, confirming that we are about to get a good midweek reversal, possible pullback for us to actually scale in, and a possible push to the downside, giving us about 30 pips from 34.80 to 34.50. That's our trade idea currently based on the price action I'm looking at. So if today's high is extended, again, we will look for another setup slightly above, and we could possibly get more pips than just the 30 we're looking for here. So it will be a new setup forming if this high is extended. So that's my view on C5. We've got one runner. We're going to confirm once we get price moving in our direction. Then we're going to have safe entries and scaling. So that's my view on C5. But if you look at it from the daily perspective, you can see we've been pushing up for like 3 straight days. If you look to the far left, let's also see what price is reacting on. So if you notice again around this area, this is a daily supply zone. So price has been it's actually inside that zone. So let's see what happens. At the same time, I think I had marked, was it on C5? Let me just check. Okay, let me quickly check on my phone if it was C5, which I marked. Okay, I've got a point of interest on C5 on 35.50. That's just a weekly area, 35.550. It's on the moving average. It's not really a significant zone, but it's a dynamic resistance zone because this way we're going to meet the 13 EMA. So around that area, if price continues to be bullish, because this trade we're taking is not, I don't think it's the reversal yet. It could just be a retracement. So if price should continue going up, I'm expecting them to get to 35.50. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be any other time, but around 35.50, we should be able to get a potential sell or maybe a reversal. So let's just keep an eye on that price level as well. Going to see 300s. You can see we had price rejecting the 13 EMA yesterday. So this, if you've been following my sessions and you're using moving average, just take note. This is the importance of the 13 EMA. Like I said, it's a dynamic resistance zone, right? If we're trading towards it from the bottom. So if you notice yesterday, we were pushing up towards it. If we go down to the H1, remember, for us to trade, we need a nameable candle. We got it right here just after this liquidity was taken, right? So once we get a nameable candle, what are we looking for? We're looking for a pattern. All right, so did we get a pattern? Yes, we did. We got an M, right? First leg, second leg, another nameable candle here, taking out this liquidity slightly and breaking the order block here. And it was a straight sell, right? All the way to the 50, all the way to the 200. No retest whatsoever. So some setups will retest the order block zone. Some setups will prefer this, some setups will give a third touch. These are just variations, but you can see how it played out from the 13 EMA area on the daily chart. So C5 is approaching the 13 EMA on the weekly chart. So if we get a pattern, then we execute with no fear. Okay. So looking into today, bullish move can potentially continue. That's a possibility. They can get into this area here. So they could be pushing towards the 50 EMA. We have a zone in there as well. So that's what we'll wait for before we consider sells. But if today's daily candle turns red, if your candles are red, or if it turns black, or if it turns bearish rather, we can consider sells. So today's open price is here, so we're considering the open price. If price comes below the open price, we're looking forward for a possible short-term sell. It might turn into a long-term maybe after these lows are broken, but for now it will be a short-term sell, which we can actually consider scalping, targeting yesterday's lows, and we can also target this intraday H1 demand zone. You can see it wasn't tested here, right? So possibly price can just come there. So from here to here, it's actually 37 pips. It can be a good scalp. Or if we get a close below, then price retraces and we get something here, then we can still get a good number of pips there. So keep stalking on C300. That's my view. C1000 has been selling. Yesterday, I don't think we held a Zoom. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But this was how C1000 played out. We had a flip zone setup, and it I think was it yesterday where we caught this move, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yes, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. We caught 20 pips off this move. Again, it was a peak, a break of the order block, straight drop all the way to the same day's lows. Then price retraced back to the previous day's low, back to that same zone. Played around there, extended this particular high, played around this order block. So this particular setup was a bit different from the normal ones because price simply kept playing and did a stop hunt into the zone. Then from there onwards, the pattern was respected still. So it's always good to trade after you see a pattern. Either the trade plays out or it doesn't. So after the last peak, we had an order block here, which was just touched. As you can see, it was just like a touch 2 times. Then the price dropped. Today, again, it was a continuation of the flip zone. We were already late on this one. Yesterday's lows. This was today's highs. This is the order block there. A break and a retest of the order block and yesterday's lows, right? So that's again a flip zone. So it's a flip zone followed by another flip zone, and the price just continued to melt. So this one we already missed. I don't think I would want to be active on it, especially after such moves. Okay, we've missed such a big move. So yes, they might come maybe into here and drop. Possible they might come back up here and drop. Possible they might still come back to this zone and drop. That's possible, but usually after an asset has moved quite a bit, I don't like jumping onto moving trains because price might trap you in the zone as it prepares to possibly reverse. So I wouldn't want to put my money on C1000 today. B500, I just marked this earlier. I was hoping to catch it. So we've got a peak, an order block here and an order block here. Both have not been retested. I would have loved to see this price retrace here before buying, or retrace to this before buying, at least to create like a W pattern or a pattern of some sort. So here it's a bit late to buy, so I'll still wait because these zones are still valid. This is B515. So we've also been bearish. Remember we spoke about this price retracing all the way possibly to this area. So you can see they are yearning to get to that area. So if we can get here, maybe we can actually get a good buy, like we said. But let's see how price plays out. What we're trading now, we're trading intraday reversals. So price is not yet bullish. We still bearish. Even here, we're trading below the 13 EMA on the daily. So we've been bearish, and we are only looking forward to trade intraday reversals. So from H4, if we are pushing down, if we are saying structures have been broken and this price is showing signs of coming down and breaking structure, where can this price get to before continuing with the sell? So we look for supply zones. For me, this would be a clear supply zone. But at the same time, I also have this 1, 2, 3, 4 candles here. This actually being a supply zone as well. So it might get a bit tricky here. Let me just check. H3. Okay, so I just want to monitor here. I don't really want to commit any buys now because it's late. But if we had pulled back here, I would have considered a buy coming back to the 50 EMA here as the price continues on its way down to that daily zone. That's what I would potentially trade. Buying here for me right now is low probability. So I wouldn't be interested in any buys at the moment. Then B1000, almost the same pattern with B1 if you notice coming from the low, right? We've got a peak and a break of an order block. But the difference is B1000 has got the 200 EMA in line with it, and we bounced off the 32 level. Looks like we are now be like above the 50, so possibly we might get this. So if we get TDI confirming something like this here, then we're going to buy. So this is the main reason I actually wanted to have this zoom, because I had spotted this setup. So 13,795 would be my potential buy limit. 13,795 potential buy limit zone, and my TP I'm targeting yesterday's highs. If we do break and we get a flip zone, we're looking for a continuation of those buys. So that's my current view on B1. So let's just confirm that bias with the daily. And yes, the daily, you can see we reacted off this order block in here. I thought we were going to take this liquidity out, and we didn't. Right, so we've been pushing. We're now above the 13 EMA. If we touched here, so we can potentially have price extending to these lows. That's possible. Let's not rule it out. And we can have price coming back up here. Like we said, B1 is just moving, like we said, basically. It's just pushing up, breaking the demand zones we had, and retesting and pushing up. So remember when we did this analysis, I think we were here. Like I said yesterday, we pushed up, respected, broke this particular supply, came back up to this supply, we broke it again. So now the trend looks like it's pushing up. So if it's pushing up, I'm now using these areas as support zones or demand zones. If you notice, it's leaving those demand zones in the same areas as the supply zones when the price was coming down here from the previous week. So let me quickly mark the visible demand zones which we can use. So from here, we've got this one, which was not retested after this push up. Then from there, we've got, hey, this zone is big. It's just the same size basically as this supply zone. So I think I'm going to just use this last black candle here, or bearish candle. So if we can get a touch or price coming into this area, that will be preferable. If we can get price extending to these lows, that will also be preferable to give us a high probability setup. So we could get something like this. They tap into a zone and give us a fresh pattern here. Then we can see price coming up here. But if they don't do that and they decide to just respect the current order block, which was broken, or respect this M15 demand zone, then if we get a nameable candle, we are going to buy from here. But if they extend today's lows and come down here, we look for a fresh pattern, then we still buy. So that's my current view for B1000. J10, let's see, yesterday I marked these highs. What was I looking for here? Was I looking for sales? Let's see. So the daily usually helps me decipher. So if you're with us from here, you understand what happened here. You understand what happened here. You also understand what happened here. You can see same zone, price came up, sort of tricked buyers, and it's continuing with that sell. So I've got a sell bias from the get-go. Where can we possibly enter? Looks like price is already respecting a supply zone here where they tapped into. They might tap into it again. On that same area, we also have it's like a flip zone again, flip zone type entry. And it has been retested once. Price can retest it the second time and just extend this high here. That's a possible play as well, but this is H4, so let's drop to the H1. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we are also late on this one because from this peak H1, this was the order block and it's being retested here. And price is already in motion. Let's see M15. Same pattern. We had a peak, order block broken, retested twice. So this price can do two things. They can either continue down, then retest here, which is yesterday's lows, to give us a flip zone sell here. That's the first scenario. Second scenario is they can come up here to grab liquidity above this area. Also, they can start by doing this. They can come tap into this liquidity, then push up back to take out this liquidity right on this moving average and in the same order block. So if we do come back up here and we retest, just make sure you sell this one because it will be a valid pattern and we'll be looking for a good sell to the downside. So those, for now, those are the two possible scenarios I see. I'm not really keen on buying today based on the daily structure. So I'll be looking for either a flip zone or liquidity taken out, price coming up back up for this particular liquidity and retest of the same order block here, but just taking out liquidity and maybe interacting with the 200 EMA there. So if we come here, we'll still get a pattern. So don't forget to confirm what you're seeing. Just wait for price to create some form of pattern which you understand, then take the trade. So that's my view on J10. And lastly, V2501S. We've been anticipating sales all the way to that other black line on the bottom, 14,690. But today we just started the day being bullish. So I think price is coming to the 13 EMA. I think price is coming to the 13 EMA. By doing so, they will take out yesterday's high, the day before yesterday, potentially this day's high as well. So that's liquidity lying up there. It could potentially be taken out. So let's see. H4, when we're coming from this peak, we didn't retest this zone. We retested this one. Then this was the low, flip zone there. Price dropped, flip zone there. Then here, this price action here, I'm not happy with it. That price action there, I'm not happy with it. So I still think price is coming up back to this price here, 53,770, to interact with the 13 EMA on the daily, which will potentially be inside this supply zone. So let's see if that's what they will actually do. This is a 4-hour supply zone. There's a 13 EMA there and we've got this 53,770 zone. So let's rather wait to see how they react to that area. If we come above, we're going to be bullish coming back to these areas. But if we respect it, then we are going to continue being bearish and going down towards that daily zone on the bottom. So that's my view on my watch list today. C5 is the only current trade we have running. We've got one sell runner here. We're waiting for a confirmed sell. H1 is looking all right. We still want H1 to come close below the 13 EMA for a safe trade, right? So, and again, you can see price is slowed down considerably. This, we might be lucky if this turns into maybe a reversal. That could be possible. Why I'm saying so is because if you notice on H1, we've got these equal highs, right? That's here on the TDI. Then we've got, excuse me, this high here. So TDI now is got a divergent setup. Then we've got a baseline bounce here, which was liquidity taken out yesterday, and this price action, I was actually anticipating this, I'm sure I mentioned. So baseline bounces have been happening, but we are in a bullish trend, though. That's one thing you should notice. So short-term trade, if it does come below this area, it might turn to a long-term, or they might be coming to this demand zone. But either way, we want to sell. So we go one runner, waiting for confirmation, then we scale in. So let's just make sure we maximize on this trade. If it does play out, let's just maximize on it, because it might be the only good setup we have this morning. So if it plays out, we'll be done for the day. If B1000 pulls back and gives us something, that's also a good trade. Same applies to B5. C1, we're not interested. C3, we are waiting for a confirmation for an entry. Then apart from that, I don't know. Let's see if you're still in there. I don't know if you've got a question based on based on my view on what I've shared. I don't know if you've got a question. Who's this joining when we're about to finish? I see there's a person who's joining just as we are finishing. Do you have any questions? Any additions, subtractions? Let me do this. You just joined us when we are finishing. We've just finished the analysis, but we recorded it, so I'm going to share the link just now. We have one trade, in case you didn't catch it, we've got one trade which can become a high probability C500. If we come below 3480 is below the 50 EMA, that's the safest. But as soon as we come and close below this, we might get a retracement, but I'll be scaling in there. Then if we come below 3480, I'll add again. We're targeting 30 pips here. Yesterday's lows as a take profit. That's our main trade right now. Okay, it's actually not yesterday's lows, but yesterday's zone on M15. That's our current setup. Okay, all right, cool. I'll send the link just now. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Have yourself a lovely and blessed weekend. Stay blessed. Good trading.